Rotherham's Sean Goater got the game's only goal that night. But for Neville Southall, it would have been game, set and match. But the Welsh international gained his side a reprieve and a second chance at Goodison tonight. The commentator is Rob Palmer.
The injury crisis across Stanley Park proving to be pretty contagious. Internationals Peter Beardsley and Martin Keown, 2 of 5 missing stars tonight. Howard Kendall has a problem at right back. Alan Harper and John Everell, who could fill that role, are both injured. So left footer Andy Hinchcliffe will move across, and David Unsworth gets his chance at left back. The flourishing youth system at Goodison Park paying dividends for him and another youngster. 19-year-old Billy Kenley makes his debut for the Blues tonight. Rotherham, in contrast, have stability in selection, a team full of experience, and the same 11 who beat Everton in the first leg take to the field. Sean Goater, the Bermudan international, who scored the winner in the first meeting and was thwarted on a number of occasions by Neville Southall. We have an experienced official tonight in Vic Callow, 23 years on the league list. Well, with Liverpool winning 3 games in a row, the crisis is over at Anfield, but the problems at Goodison Park have been overlooked slightly. 4 matches they've lost in succession. They're on a roll at the moment, a roll downhill. Watson, the captain. Well, Bigre does well for a little man to win the ball in the air, and Tony Cotter getting in between the legs of Nigel Johnson. You get the feeling that Tony Cotter is in one of those moods. He's looking extremely confident when he gets the ball. A very good turn. He sends the defender completely the wrong way. All he can do is hang on to the shirt, Johnston. Bigre doesn't have an abundance of tall players to aim for. Watson's joined the attack. Watson gets a header. And not far away at all, the Everton captain. He's only going to go to him or Rideout. The 2 big men have joined the attack. Watson had a good eye on the ball but couldn't get it under the crossbar. Gained the chip over the top. Unsworth has let Hazel get the wrong side of him. Chance for Hazel! Oh, so close! Well, Des Hazel having the first chance of the game for Rotherham. And Unsworth was a little bit slow. He's a big lad for a fullback. And this man's got pace. He's going to have to be careful. Watson will slow play down for a second or two. He finds Bigre on the far side. Bigre really does spring high for a little winger. Another short man, Cotty. Unsworth. Horn. Back to Bigre. Good turn from Bigre. Good cross as well. There's Rideout! And that's his first goal in senior football for Everton. A mighty weight off the number 9 shoulders. A great cross from Bigre. Rideout will thank him for that. He certainly does. An excellent cross from Peter Bigre. He had space. He got it in, not really above head height, tall the cross, and a very good header from Rideout. That's why he was bought. Everton so needed a tall centre-forward since the departure of Graham Sharp, and Rideout beginning to show his true colours. 1-0 to Everton. Well, still can't raise a smile from Howard Kendall. He's not having the best of times as Everton manager at the moment, but he'll be very happy for his centre-forward scoring that goal. Cotty. Hinchcliffe, all left foot from the right back. A good ball from the debutant Kenny. Bigre is going to have to do well to get there, but he does force the throw in. Ali Pickering taking no risks at all. Cotty really didn't want it in that situation, but it's worked out for Everton. Oh, great skill from Bigre, not a bad cross either. Drops for Kenny. Well, you can certainly say he's trying his luck every time he gets the ball. The man playing for the first time in the Everton first team at Goodison Park. Bad kick, the first one of the night from Mercer, straight at the feet of Azika. Rideout's there again, an important flick from Nigel Johnson. Hazel just can't get the ball on the floor. Unsworth can. Beagrie again. And another corner kick. First is not going to get there in time. He tried his best. But a bad back pass from Ali Pickering. Again putting the pressure on Rotherham United. Half an hour gone. All level on aggregate, of course. If it remains this way, we'll be going into extra time. Beagrie's corner. Mercer stays in his line. Long clearance. Only Hazel up there, though. Rideout's onside. It's beaten the offside trap. That could be a penalty. But Cotty scores. Now, what is the referee going to give here? Well, he has to send Mercer off if he's given a penalty in that situation. A bizarre situation, really. He should have allowed the goal. He blew his whistle possibly too early, the referee. And Mercer goes off. Well, a sad evening. Maybe you ask, should he have stayed on the field? But he certainly took Rideout out of the game. It's going to be Nicky Law who's going to go in goal, the centre half. He's certainly got the height. Tony Cotty is going to be the first man to test the standing keeper from the penalty spot. Well, for the next 15 minutes or so, the standing keeper's going to have a backing. His first job is going to face a penalty from Cotty. Now, Cotty scored in free play, and Cotty scores the penalty. Well, that, you have to say, is justice. Rotherham United down to 10 men, and it could have so backfired against the referee. A confident penalty from Cotty, and the goalkeeper, the standing keeper, wasn't far away. Cotty chooses the blast and goes through the arms of the unlucky Nicky Law. An attendance of 10,302, the lowest crowd of the season by far. The previous lowest was 18,080 against Crystal Palace. And I would say there's a good couple of thousand have travelled from South Yorkshire, so it could have been quite embarrassing for Everton tonight had the opposition not fancied this game. Horn fighting again. He loves a little scrap, Barry Horn. Hinchcliffe reads it well, using his pace rather than a sliding tackle. Good run from Cotty. Checks his onside. Back to Rideout. Rideout with a shot. Oh, not far away from Paul Rideout. Well, he's certainly finding his form tonight for Everton. And finding an understanding with Cotty. Cotty laying it on, finding the position. But again, no save for Nicky Law to make. Rotherham search forward. Good block from Ablett. Very well placed. Looks more confident with the ball at his feet every game I see him play. And Ezekiel likes the ball at his feet as well. He loves to take on a fullback. Kenny's gone wide, provided the decoy. Ezekiel keeps going. Tries a shot, and the first save for the goalkeeper at the second attempt. Well, he's had to play about half an hour before he's had a save to make, the standing keeper, Nicky Law. Rule 1 of goalkeeping, get your body behind the ball. Rule 2, get on any rebounds. Tom. Hazel does well. Clashing with Horn. Horn pointing to the ball. I got it, referee, quite fairly, he says. The referee saying, though, that he fouled Hazel, and this is going to be a free kick in a dangerous situation. He's got a 6-man wall, Southall. He wants them to move out of the way so he can get a clearer view of the ball. Ian Banks, who's got a very strong shot, he's scored some spectacular goals in his Barnsley days. It's a bit of a Coventry City from the 1960s, that free kick. And unlike Coventry's, that one doesn't work out. Well, Rideout's stolen it. There's a chance, he's trying a shot, it's a neat flick. But no problems for Law. We'll say he had that one covered. Well, I remember a situation back in the early 80s when Paul Rideout was an England international, when he had a similar chance to this. It made him famous as a 15-year-old when he chipped the Scotland goalkeeper, but he's lost his touch possibly. Beagrie again, he's enjoying this experience in the first team. He certainly earned his recall from Howard Kendall on this showing, and earned a free kick as well. Well, a bit of pain from Peter Beagrie, and I think it was just a badly timed challenge. Wasn't particularly malicious from number 10, Gota. I think they call that in the trade a forwards tackle. Gota helping out his back line. Every Rotherham player is in and around the 18-yard box. Aimed to the far post. Goes over Watson. Drops for Vazika. A lack of concentration from the Polo. Kenny helps him out. Back to Vazika. His mind's on the job this time. Oh, a nutmeg in the area. He's going to have a shot at the keeper. Draws the goalkeeper. And that's a second goal for Paul Rideout. Well, the Everton fans applauding him. He's had a tough time. Vazika certainly not greedy. He could have shot on the goalie, but he saw Rideout in a better position. It was Vazika who went by one. The defender won't be happy with this cheeky little nutmeg through the legs of him. Vazika carried on, he drew the keeper. The keeper, I think, was worried about the shot. Rideout in a perfect position. His second goal of the game, his second goal for Everton. And the Everton attack, which has been lacklustre of late, haven't scored in 4 matches, scored 3 tonight. Rotherham will try and provide some kind of cheer for their large travelling support. Kenny to Unsworth, the 2 youth team products combined. To Beagry, a man who cost $750,000. Back to the man who cost nothing, Unsworth. He gets by the defender. Good, strong, powerful run. But the pass lets him down. Ablett. Pushing Gota out of play. Good marking by Gary Ablett. Cotty to Beagry. Again takes 4 or 5 touches. Law loses that one, and he took on the responsibility of going for the cross. He's certainly enjoying himself. It seemed to drop just over the top of him. And another cross coming in this time. A flick on, and very, very close. Off the bar and into the hands of the goalkeeper. Kenny almost caught out. Passes the book to Horn. Not a case of passing the book to Unsworth. He has plenty of space. Beagry inside. He likes to shoot from here. He tries to shot. Oh, what a save! Well, that's going to go in the family album of the goalkeeper. I don't think Billy Mercer could have done better than that before he got sent off. A good, strong, dipping shot from Peter Beagry. And just underneath the crossbar, a competent save from Nicky Law. He'll be staking a claim for a permanent place when Mercer's suspended. Stays on his line this time, leaves it to Johnson and Hazel to clear. Hazel has nobody in front of him. He's going to have to boot it out of play or look for some support. He gets that. Well, he stayed on his line this time and put out the hand at the very final moment. That really was a good save. Johnson shows his powers of recovery. Wins the ball, but it's going to be the last touch of the game. And Everton's run of 4 successive defeats comes to an end in reasonable fashion. And there's the man who's got off the mark with his scoring for Everton. Paul Rideout, a goal in each half and a good performance. And Tony Cotty earning his stripes as well, a recall to the first team and scoring from the penalty spot. Final score at Goodison Park. Everton go into the next round of the Coca-Cola Cup. Everton 3, Rotherham 0, 3-1 in aggregate.
Well, an encouraging night there for Paul Rideout, and an encouraging night as well.
And Barry Horn, captain of the Welsh side that won in Cyprus. And it's nice to see Snowden back on the sub. He's been out for nearly 2 years with injury. And talking of captains, Coventry welcome back their skipper, number 10, Stuart Robson, who has missed the last 6 games with a virus complaint. But they're without their 2 main strikers. Robert Rosario and Kevin Gallagher are both injured. So number 6, Peter Unlove, and number 11, John Williams, will forsake their wide positions today and play through the middle. The promising Irish teenager Tony Sheridan gets a place on the subs bench. Bob Hamer of Bristol is the referee, and Everton here playing from left to right desperately need a goal. They haven't scored here at Goodison in a league game since the 25th of August. They've only managed 2 in the Premier League at home in 5 games. And Howard Kendall, from the way they've lined up at the start, looks as though he's playing the 3 centre-backs, Keown, Watson and Ablett, with Vashika on the right and Hinchcliffe on the left, pushing into midfield. A 5-man system that Everton used for parts of last season. This is Ablett. Long ball by Dave Watson, but it's too long for Bajika. It's a lovely afternoon at the moment. There was a smatter of rain earlier, but sun shining now. The pitch here at Goodison looks in excellent condition. This is very nearly an all-seater stadium now. Just a small section away to the left where nobody is standing, which is yet to be seated. Hurst, Cottee, Beardsley. Nice control from Beardsley. Oh, they've missed him so badly these last 2 weeks. Brings a new dimension to Everton's game, or indeed to the game of any side he plays in, Peter Beardsley. And this was good skill. A little bit of luck there perhaps, but close control. And when they were all looking at him and wondering what he was going to do next, he lined up a very useful shot. There's Cottee. And he gets the free kick, Tony Cottee. Now Hinchcliffe having a long look at this one, and that's his shot. Well gathered. Beagrie. Hinchcliffe. Beagrie again. Cottee goes through the centre, and out comes the goalkeeper. Straight to Barry Horn. And now Beardsley. That was a super piece of football. First by Beardsley for seeing that Igrizovic was still on his way back, but the goalkeeper got to the ball. He recovered his ground well, Igrizovic, here to make that flying save. Corner to Everton. Now Hinchcliffe's come across to take it, and Gary Ablett is forward, and so is Martin Keown. Flick on by Ablett. Nearly came out for Beagrie. There he is now. Ablett still in the middle. Beagrie gets the cross in. Flick on by Cottee. That was Bajika. Beagrie. Tackle coming in there from Boro. This is Hinchcliffe for Everton. Kenny. Cottee who came deep. Bajika. And in it goes again for Beardsley. And Bajika nearly got on the end of it when it came back across. Beardsley wants more involved. Cottee. Kenny. Horn. Keown. Oh, came back to Beardsley. He's only been playing 10 minutes, but the 4 attacks that Everton have had have all revolved around the same man. Here's Beardsley again. That's a good touch again by Beardsley. Beagrie now. Cottee is through the middle. This is Beagrie again. Beardsley. Horn. Beardsley. They've beaten the offside trap here. Hinchcliffe. Cottee. No. Igrizovic snatched it before it could whiz along the 6-yard line towards Cottee. Cross was by Hinchcliffe from the far side. Good play again by Everton. Nearly on the end of something there, Tony Cottee. Beagrie's flick. Oh, Pierce slip. This is Cottee. Beardsley in the middle here. Let it run beautifully to Horn. Bajika's outside him. Firing a cross off the defender. Robson's header out. Kenny. Some of the football Everton have produced in this first 25 minutes is completely in keeping with their tradition. The passing and the movement and the understanding is first class. What's missing is the finish. Kenny Sansom. Well, Williams isn't getting a look in at the moment against Watson. This is Beardsley. Oh, just look at that. Hinchcliffe. Robson. Little shove by Williams. Push. Boro's on Beagrie. Free kick to Everton. Played back. Oh, and Beagrie! Well, there's the somersault. Was it a double or a triple? Doesn't matter. It's a goal that Everton have been waiting for since the 25th of August. And as Hinchcliffe just touched it back, Peter Beagrie lined up his shot, and that was rather reminiscent of our friend from Norway, wasn't it? The 28th minute of the match at Goodison Park, and Beagrie produces a stunning goal to take a lot of weight off Everton's shoulders. 1-0 and deservedly so. Kenny to Horn. Cotti wants it. Vajic has got it. Over Cotti's head. Oh! What a bad error. And the goalkeeper picked the ball up and the referee's called it a back pass. Brian Burrows. It was a horrendous error in the first place, really, by the defender. He completely missed his clearance, Burrows. But the ball went back to the goalkeeper, and that, according to Bob Hamer, is the pass that is now against the law. It's right on the 6-yard line. Obviously, it's indirect, but either Beagrie or Hinchcliffe would look to. It's Hinchcliffe. Oh, good save. Steve Agrizovic threw himself out of the wall. Well, I haven't seen a closer free kick this season, and that'll cause all sorts of debate again about the interpretation of FIFA's new directive to referees. And Hinchcliffe's looking to get onto that, cleared by Appleton. Corner to Everton. Taken quickly, Hinchcliffe. Beagrie. Sansom heads out for a corner on this side. There wasn't much shouting in the Coventry defence there, if any. This is Hinchcliffe. Oh, Beardsley slipped as he was about to strike the border. It's given Coventry a 3-against-2 situation. Love. He's going on his own. Oh, it's gone over Southall, it's gone in. Peter Love has produced a goal for Coventry out of nothing. I think it may have caught Barry Horn and scooped up over the goalkeeper's head. But Love will claim it. And here he was, taking them on. The others to his right weren't going to be in the game here. He was determined to go alone. Watch Barry Horn make the challenge. And I think that hits Barry Horn's foot. And that's what lifts it up over a helpless Southall. But it's a goal again for the Zimbabwean Peter Love. 1-1. The amazing thing about that goal, as the referee blows for half-time, is that Beardsley was about to have a shot at one end, which could have made it 2-0 to Everton. He slipped, Coventry broke away, and Love in that situation, at the moment, has no fears. He carried the ball all the way, and that looping deflection put Coventry back in the game. Everything before then had been from Everton, including a fine goal by Peter Beagrie. Little conversation there before the second half started between Tony Cottee and Stuart Robson. Old colleagues, West Ham, I suspect. Well, they might have been discussing the weather, which has now turned from the sunshine of the first half to driving rain at the start of the second. Beardsley, lovely touch on the ball, but not by Beagrie. Beardsley's touch there was pure velvet. Well, they could be in here. Beardsley! Oh. Well, until then he was having the perfect game. You could have made a video of his first half performance and sold it, entitled How to Play Football, but when the chance came for him to score, he dragged the shot across the goal. That's a good ball by Barry Hall. This is Bajika. Keown charging through. Martin Keown, well done. Beagrie gets right underneath that, off balance when he hit it there, Beagrie, but he applauds quite rightly the approach play from Martin Keown, who showed there what I suppose centre backs, and there are three of them, should be doing, one of them anyway, lending the extra man in attack when their team are in possession. And he got himself right into the box there, took out a couple of defenders, little pull back, but then rather a wild finish. Robson touching it on to Burrows. It's Robson again. Fleming on this side. It was well played by Terry Fleming. Oh, why didn't he just... Well, it's too easy to say that, isn't it? It was a good effort, actually, but Love to his left just wanted it pushed back for a clear shot at goal. Hurst to take the corner. Love, Hurst, Pearce coming in at the back. There's a flag up. There's a flag up on the far side. That flag is still up. That would not have been a goal had the ball gone in the net. I rather think the linesman on that side, John Hilditch, thought that Andy Pearce fouled as he came in for the header. It was cleared off the line, but I don't think you'll find this would have counted. Love, corner. Pearce will again make his way forward here for Coventry. He's about 6'4". Very handy man to have in your side when you get set plays like this. Number 5. This has come out to Lloyd McGruff. And there's Pearce. Oh, up against the underside. And how did it stay out? Everton surviving by the skin of their teeth, and the width of the crossbar with King too. Pearce's header. It was Horn on the line against the bar. Southall blocked the follow-up shot. Then in Love. Then number 7, Kenny on the line. Well, often you see a goal line clearance, but not two in succession on each post. Andy Pearce can't believe his luck. Horn and Kenny were the saviours of Everton there. Watson starting off another Everton attack, but there haven't been many of those in this last quarter of an hour. Coventry are suddenly playing with the sort of assurance you might associate with a team who've yet to lose away. Love, a brilliant run again, 2 in the middle waiting for him. Still in Love. Williams. Good support play by Burrows, and now McGrath. Robson. Pulling away on the far side there was Love again. Now, I do want to see again this interesting incident involving Andy Pearce, because when he has the first header coming up now, it beats Southall. Now watch the ball first, under the bar. Is it over the line when Horn heads it up against what? The underside of the crossbar or the net? That's a point that Coventry will want looked at again. Cotty. Beardsley. Oh, he's in here. Very good challenge. A very good challenge got to him in the end. I think it might have been Lee Hurst, number 8. This is the build-up, and Peter Beardsley moves into a good position inside the area. He tricks Pearce. Yes, it's Hurst who gets his foot wrapped right round that and doesn't foul Beardsley either. That's a super piece of defensive play. And now an emotional moment at Goodison Park as Ian Snowden, out of the game for virtually 2 years with injury, makes his reappearance, and he'll get a huge ovation as Barry Horn goes off to make way for him. Snowden was once classed as a possible England player, and the crowd give him the kind of reception he deserves for the way he's battled back. Snowden. Here he is again, wide to Beagrie. Well, either side could look back and say they might have won that game. Peter Beagrie put Everton ahead in a good spell, which they could have made more of. Peter Love equalised for a Coventry side who in the second half got better. And I suppose Andy Pearce will look back on the match and wonder if that header of his was in or nearly in anyway when it was cleared by Horn. But Coventry are still unbeaten away from home. Everton have at last ended their run of defeats, and the final score at Goodison Park is Everton 1, Coventry City 1.
Well, the heavyweights have moved out of Wembley and the cruiserweights have moved in. Alan Hansen there.
There's something about this competition that does funny things to Everton's Kendall-Harvey combination. Harvey lost his job when Everton fell to Sheffield United in the then Rumbelows Cup. It meant Howard Kendall walking out of Manchester City and into Harvey's life once again. The pace of life seems a little slower these days, but the job doesn't seem to be getting any easier. A decent cup run would be just the ticket.
This is a very important cup competition. I mean, it ends up with a final at Wembley and ends up with Europe. I mean, it's important at the moment.
The travelling Everton fans were in no doubt as to where their best chance lay. But then enter the Gladiators. John Fashanu back from injury, but on the substitutes bench. Wimbledon have never done Everton any favours. But then Wimbledon have never really done anyone any favours. It's not their style.
We've always had a go, you know. They've got some great players there, and hopefully, you know, might be a bit too cold for Peter Beardsley shooting boots tonight.
Cold it certainly was, and you've got to generate your own atmosphere with only 3,500 inside Selhurst Park. Wimbledon versus Everton, commentator Alistair Mann.
So Vinnie Jones with a chance to launch one of his famous bombs into the Everton box. It's in towards Robbie Earle. Up goes Clark. And there's Earle with the acrobatics, and it's off the bar, and Neville Southall didn't get near it. Well, Robbie Earle has an eye for a goal, and he needed him in the back of his head for this one. Look at that. Southall beaten. Ablett. Peter Beardsley. Looking up all the while and waiting to play the right ball, and it was a good one too. Here's Rideout. Snowden's in the middle. So to Zebrall, and if he'd have got a more telling touch on that, who knows? Joseph keeping it on and keeping his feet too. It's up towards Earle, and Holdsworth and Southall, and in the end they got it away. Wasn't very pretty, was it? Beardsley has been given a lot of room to manoeuvre, and if you do that, you're going to put yourselves in trouble. Here's Snowden, falls to the ground. Gibson was the man behind him, and the referee was quite well positioned to make the decision. Well, maybe it was a fair one. Well, no prizes to be given out for guessing what Jones is about to do, and there it is, and it's an awkward one too. Southall in a crowd of players. Gibson still not cleared, and it is in the end by Dave Watson. Everton kick, and there's a lot of men shaping for it. Beardsley's one of them. Tees up Snowden, got a deflection, and that's a wonderful save from Sagers. Falling away, all off balance. Snowden shot. The ricochet was vicious, and that's a lovely save from Sagers. Snowden. Beardsley. A lovely ball, he's just falling away but still managed to deliver it. It's in towards Rideout, won't reach him. Real chance now for Horn, and the shot was blocked. Barry Horn with an opportunity. Sagers launches it forward, and Clark's after it, and Clark has it. And still Clark. Real chance for Holdsworth. Oh, he was too precise. Second time and again, and Southall in the way both times, and Holdsworth just showing what he should have done. Oh, lovely tackling back. Everton still retaining possession. Ablett, lovely ball. Beardsley! Yes! Gary Ablett to Peter Beardsley, and I'll do the rest, says Peter Beardsley. Precision ball forward. A little glance to see whether or not he was offside, and once in that position, he'll get the target every time. Clark got some pace, hasn't he? Watson in the way though that time. Vinnie Jones, good save from Southall, teeing it up for himself to catch it. Jones denied. Ebrel, Horn, nice ball. Opening it out for Ablett. Rideout. Shot on the turn, off the post, and gratefully received by Sagers off the woodwork. Showed to go one way, actually went the other, and the post denying him. Beardsley. Ball into space. And Rideout will chase, and Everton have another chance to seal the tie. And here arriving is Varshika, and my word, he missed it. And he kicks the ground with frustration. Let's see if we can find a reason why he missed it. Looked odds on a goal, didn't it? Well, there was a bobble at the death, but he'll be disappointed with that. Horn, lovely ball, Beardsley. Rideout! Oh, he's missed it. I bet he can't believe it. I know Everton can't believe it. Another chance to seal the game. And Rideout did everything right, it appeared, but the accuracy wasn't there, was it?
Yeah, well pleased, obviously. I mean, it's never easy to play against Wimbledon, but we came here. The defence were absolutely magnificent, and we hit them on the break.
You certainly made it hard for yourselves with those chances you missed, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Once we got one up, they obviously took a few chances, left it a bit open at the back, but unfortunately kept ourselves sweating till the end.
That's 2 wins now. Is this maybe a turning point for Everton, do you feel?
Well, who knows? I mean, we hope so. You know, we're on a little run and we want to continue it. Not going to be easy, but every game's going to be hard.
I mean, the players don't understand what goes on in dugouts these days, you know. I mean, they give trainers and managers heart attacks. I mean, we could have summed it up, but the lads have battled well. I mean, we know how they play. They put you under pressure. We've had a quality goal, which has won the game.
Well, the revised draw for the fourth round. Blackburn Rovers will play Watford, who dumped Leeds out of...
The blue shirts of Everton got the boost of a Paul Rideout header 2 minutes into the second half at Goodison Park. But Middlesbrough were soon level. Hendry setting up Craig Hignett, once on Liverpool's books, Hignett's first goal for his new club. Another player once on Liverpool's books put Everton back in front. Peter Beardsley bungled over, and it was Beardsley himself who recovered in time to score from the penalty. But Middlesbrough soon set about creating virtually a replica of their equaliser. Paul
made 2 fine saves against Queen's Park Rangers when a simple catch left him in deep trouble. The catch was outside the area. Different referees, different interpretations. Gerald Ashby from Worcester played this one strictly according to the letter of the law. Exit Neville Southall and exit Robert Barksika, substituted by Jason Kearton from Ipswich, Australia, making a stunning save with his first touch in the Premier League. Kearton was no less agile in dealing with Simon Barker's header soon after, but Andy Sinton was lurking and unforgiving. So too was Mr. Ashby in the aftermath of a collision between Rideout and Peacock. Paul Rideout sent to keep Neville Southall company, the club with the best disciplinary record in the Premier League, down to 9 men. The second half began with Kearton beaten out wide on the edge of the penalty area and Gary Penrice measuring the angle to a nicety. 4 minutes later, it began to look like a rout. Andy Sinton's second, making it 3-0. From here, not even Rangers' knack of falling apart in the second half should let in depleted opponents. Or could it? Barry Horn's lovely through ball gave Stuart Barlow a goal. And 8 minutes later, with the aid of a deflection, the substitute scored again. At 3-2, with a quarter hour to play, Rangers had the look of men trying to find the exit in the dark. When they rallied, Kearton saved well until Andy Sinton beat him again 2 minutes from time. It was Sinton's first hat-trick for Rangers to climax an extraordinary match.
I was just thinking actually that Rideout's off the pitch, and that's the kind of position that he certainly likes to take up when taking free kicks. But it's a very simple free kick, and what an absolutely magnificent finish. Totally deserved.
Just touched off, only just touched to by Ravanelli, and it was curled delightfully into the corner by Vialli.
No goalkeeper in the world will have stopped that one, Peter.
Well, there aren't many goalkeepers better than Giovanni Galli, and he was nowhere near getting to that one. Tremendous goal by Vialli. 3-0 to Juve. It's all over now. The goal on 79 minutes. And that has stunned the Napoli fans. Still they persevere. Correca. And that's greeted with whistles too from the Napoli fans. Ferrara just couldn't keep his shot on the target. And it's turning into a very, very disappointing afternoon for Napoli.
But equally, full credit to Juventus. They're the away side. They've come here, they've defended resolutely, they've defended magnificently, they've weathered the storm, and equally they've got the creativity, the ability, like people Vialli, Muller, Rideout, to score goals, and certainly that's what they were lacking last season, that attacking invention, and it looks like Trapattoni's got it right at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, it's going to develop into a tremendous tussle for the championship race if Juve can't raise the game as they have done today. We've got Milan still storming away at the top. Torino going so well. It just was too deep. No foul. I mean, you still have to say Milan the favourites, but there are going to be some other contenders too, aren't there?
Certainly will.
So it's all shaping up rather nicely. Cripper now. Correca, hounded by Ravanelli. This is Correca. Zola. And the free kicks were given, the foot was high. Zola, who was trying to wriggle through. Napoli conjure up here. Surely too late to save the game. With only 7 minutes to go. Peruzzi, though, will want to keep a clean sheet. He's played so well. Juventus with just about everybody back. Ferrara wanting to join the wall. The Napoli player. That's gone through and into the corner. They've got one back. Fonseca. Another classic strike. Well, maybe it isn't too late. It will certainly give Napoli fresh hope. And rather similar, Paul, to the goal at the other end.
It certainly was. It was an excellent strike. A marvellous consolation goal. He's left Peruzzi with no chance. And hopefully this could be the incentive now that Napoli need.
Well, it certainly keeps them in with a fighting chance. And Juventus will have to look to their laurels, stay on their mettle now. in defending what has become a more slender lead than it looked a few minutes ago. Well, certainly another goal would give us a grandstand finish. Fonseca, that's 11 goals now for him in this extraordinary start to the season for him. He seems to score in every match. And they sign from Callery. Cripps pass on. Fonseca chasing. And he looks a tremendous prospect. He actually came to Italy on the back of Uruguay's performances in the World Cup of 1990 and did extremely well with Callery. His goals kept them up, and then Napoli stepped in when Juventus, ironically, didn't bother to take up their option on him. Well, that's a trip. Is that inside the area? Going down. It was just outside. Fonseca says inside. The referee says no, look, it's here. Apple's coming on. From the scrubbing spectators. Oh, I'll tell you what, Paul, it was rather close.
I'd give a penalty actually, Peter. There's no doubt to my mind that there was contact there as he was approaching it, actually inside of the area.
Well, all kinds of objects are coming on now. Fruit of all descriptions. Even bottles there, look. It's a passionate afternoon in Naples. And as with anywhere, the home fans don't like it when their team lose. Fiorentina 3, Milan 6, I'm hearing now. What an extraordinary game that sounds. 45 goals in Serie A this afternoon. That's a record. Boring old league, isn't it? Now Zola. Another delicate chip through. That's Tarantino. Even he's come forward now and showing a neat piece of skill too. Borodini, there's no flag. And Napoli have got it back to 2-3. Zola with 4 minutes to go. And we're going to have that grandstand finish after all.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's amazing.
The save here was absolutely wonderful from Peruzzi. A wonderful save by Fonseca. And who's there? He deserves that goal, Zola. He's been outstanding all afternoon for Napoli, but now we've got a great game on our hands now.
What a climax to this game. 2-3. Napoli right back in there now, thanks to Zola's goal. His second of the season. Gallia, Juventus through again, and Gallia into the side netting. No time to pause for breath here. Boro up towards Fonseca, who was denied by that brilliant save by Peruzzi. Fantastic stop. He is renowned as a shot stopper, Peruzzi, and he lived up to his reputation there. Dino Baccio happy to head it anywhere. Just over 2 minutes to go. For Napoli, Juventus, almost everybody back in their own half. Indeed, at the moment, everyone is. Now Vialli's gone forward. Vialli on the chase, can't get there though, because Tarantino was in with the intervention. Then Vialli clawing back at him. Muller. Have we written Napoli off too soon? Definitely. Crescendo of noise now around the stadium. Fonseca. Mauro. What excitement in Naples. Correca can't quite get there with Cola. Desperate defending by Juve. Peruzzi to the rescue.
Marvellous. I mean, the game is really opening up now. Juve all of a sudden, from being so assured in defence, they look very suspect now. Napoli are piling on the pressure, and it's a shame they didn't do this earlier.
Well, that will be the views, I'm sure, of Ranieri, the coach. Now, here's a chance for Ravanelli. It's a
wonderful game. I think he robs the ball there from the defender, and he's in a 1v1 situation. I mean, he does very well here. The defender left stranded there, and he's on a 1v1 with the goalkeeper on his best foot, his left foot.
So Napoli are still hoping. Cola's header wasn't a decisive one. It's a corner to Napoli. Can't be too long to go now. Just a few seconds of normal time. There will be some time added on by the referee, I'm sure. We have had injuries. Here's Boro. Down he goes. And the referee turned away. He's going to be under siege here. Well, they've finished to the Napoli players. They've accepted his decision. It was certainly a dive by Boro. Whether there was contact or not, I think I need to look at that again. Shake of the head then from Trapattoni, who can't believe that his team are under this pressure now. Well, we're not going to have too much time at the end of the match, so we're going to try to bring you the other scores now from the other games. It's hoisted forward by Ferrara, and there they are. Pressure beaten Foggia. Look at that win for Milan, 7-3 away to Fiorentina, 4-4 Genoa and Ancona, 5-2 Lazio against Parma. And it's Napoli 2, Juventus 3 at the moment. Ravanelli, we've now had a minute of time added on. Gallia. Paul Rideout, your summing up of the afternoon's fare?
It's been a terrific game, terrific goals, bags of incidents from end to end. Napoli realised they retained their self-belief when they got back another goal. But to be fair to Juventus, they deserved to win. They've defended well. They've scored some terrific goals as well. But I'm sure all our viewers will sit back at home and think this is a wonderful game.
It's not over yet. Gareca wriggling past one, not past two though. Time here for Carrera, who's happy for the ball to run out. He thinks for a goal kick. Fonseca claims the corner, and the referee is in agreement with Carrera. 2 minutes into injury time. Juventus almost there.